Hello everyone. In today's session, I'm going to discuss some more very important reference to the context questions and answers from The Merchant of Venice, Act 4 and Act 5. Let's start reading the first extract. You may as well do anything most hard. Line number 78. You may as well do anything most hard as seek to soften that than which what's harder, his Jewish heart. Therefore, I do beseech you, make no more offers, use no further means, but with all brief and plain conveniency, let me have judgment, and the Jew his will. This is the first extract. These are the questions and answers. Question 1. Who is referred to as you? The right answer is Bassanio, the dearest friend of Antonio, is referred to as you. What does he offer immediately after this? Immediately after this, he offers to Shylock 6,000 ducats. Read the text and you will get all the answers. Take out Act 4, Scene 1. Time for question number 2. Why does Antonio utter these words? Bassanio tries to convince Shylock not to kill Antonio. He says that every offense is not a hate at first, yet Shylock is obstinate, and thus Antonio utters these words telling Bassanio not to try in vain. This is the most important point, not to try in vain. It is useless to try to convince Shylock and to soften his Jewish heart. This is answer number 2. And now I will read question number 3. What is harder according to Antonio? What are the things the listener may do? What is harder according to Antonio? Trying to soften Shylock's Jewish heart is harder. I have quoted from the text, Jewish heart. Read the text so thoroughly that you may be able to pick out the key elements, the key words, and use them in your answer. What are the things the listener may do? Bassanio might go on the beach and ask the ocean to bait his usual height. This also I have quoted from the text. This is the first thing that the listener, that is Bassanio, might do. The next one, he might ask a wolf why he killed the lamb and made its mother cry. The third point, he might also tell the pine trees on the mountains to stop waving their tree tops when the storms blow through them. And the last point, he might do the impossible rather than try to soften Shylock's heart. Do not miss any point. Mention all the points, and even though your answer may be brief, you will get full marks for it. And change paragraphs. If there are subparts, I keep telling this to you, change paragraphs. The next question, it's time for me to read question number 4. Explain, let me have judgment and the Jew his will. The answer, the quoted words are uttered by Antonio. He urges Bassanio to let him receive his punishment. And why will he receive the punishment? For not being able to repay the loan amount within the stipulated time. Let me have judgment. I have explained this portion, and now the remaining portion. And the Jew his will. Who is a Jew? We all know that the Jew is Shylock. Let's read. And the Jew must also be allowed to exact the penalty. And what is the penalty? Of a pound of flesh to be cut off from nearest Antonio's bosom. The Jew's will is his desire to take revenge on Antonio by exacting the penalty, and Antonio knows it. Antonio knows it very well that Shylock hates him, and he is doing all this in order to take revenge on him. Read question number 4 and answer number 4. This is how you explain an expression or a line or a quotation taken from the text. Let's move on to question number 5 very quickly. Why is Shylock not prepared to change his mind? Shylock is not prepared to change his mind because he has sworn by Holy Sabbath that he will definitely get the penalty to which he is legally entitled by the terms of the bond. He bears a deep-rooted hate and a certain loathing against Antonio. Shylock is unwilling to give any other concrete reason to justify his motive, his obstinacy. We all know that he bears an ancient grudge against Antonio, and he has taken advantage of this situation in order to put Antonio in such deep trouble. These are the 5 questions and answers from extract 1. And now I will move on to the next extract, Act 5, Scene 1, and we will read the extract first. The man that hath no music in himself, nor is not moved with concord of sweet sounds, is fit for treason, stratagems, and spoils. The motions of his spirit are dull as night, and his affections dark as Erebus. Let not such man be trusted. This is extract number 2, and now the questions and answers. What has Lorenzo said earlier to indicate that music affects unhandled colts? The answer: music affects a wild and untamed herd of young and untrained horses. The tribe of horses leaps about madly, bellowing and neighing loudly, and thus giving proof of their youthful energy. If these young animals hear, just by chance, the sound of a trumpet blowing, or if any musical tune falls on their ears, they will come to a stop and stand together, with the wild expression of their eyes changed to a humble look because of the sweet power of music. This is the impact of music on untrained horses. Write your answers like this. Take help from the paraphrase that you have, read the text thoroughly, and do not forget to mention all the points. Question number 2. What was the effect of the music played by Orpheus? How could music influence one's nature according to Lorenzo? The poet Ovid imagined that the musician called Orpheus had the capacity to draw trees, stones, and floods behind him. So this was the effect of the music played by Orpheus. The next question: how could music influence one's nature according to Lorenzo? Change paragraph. According to Lorenzo, no matter how lifeless, tough, and fierce a creature or a thing may be, its nature can be changed. Temporarily, at least, a living being or a lifeless thing falls under the influence of music and becomes responsive to it. This is Lorenzo's thought. How could music influence one's nature according to Lorenzo? Question number 3 now. What does Lorenzo mean by is fit for treason, stratagems, and spoils? Lorenzo states that a person who does not respond to music or who is unmoved by a harmony of sweet sounds, he must be fit only for number 1, treacherous actions, treasons, number 2, for hatching conspiracies, stratagems, and number 3, and for acts of plunder, spoils. This is the meaning of the quoted words. Is fit for treasons, stratagems, and spoils. What is Jessica's response to music? How does Lorenzo interpret this? Jessica never feels cheerful when she listens to sweet music. Lorenzo gives a reason that Jessica's faculties become so attentive to music that she gets completely lost in it. This is the 4th answer. And learn the meaning of Erebus. What is Erebus and why should such a person who is unresponsive to music not be trusted? Try to answer this question and do write the answer in the comment box if you wish. Thank you for watching this video.